Alright guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So this is the OnePlus 9, the smaller variant. It's not very small, but it's the smaller variant of the two. This is the OnePlus 9. Now this is 60 days with this device. Kind of a few things to cover. Not very much has changed, but we'll talk about it in this video. But let's get into it. Alright, so I decided to rest my OnePlus case that I purchased, the Sandstone Black, and rock out with this case from Carl's Caseborne Armadillo Tech. I really like this case because it's the heavy duty drop protection, but at not a high price, and then also it's clear and it really shows off the nice skin that I have on here. Everything on this case has been doing good. No quarrels with it changing yellow yet. I'm hoping that it does not, because this is just such a beautiful case. I know over time, probably maybe 6 months to a year down the line, it might change, get worn a little bit, but overall the case is fantastic, and I'm really happy that he sent that over to me for review. Fantastic case. Be sure to hit Amazon and check out Armadillo Tech Caseborne. Now the skin I rock is always Sophie Guard. I rock with only Sophie Guard skins. I started rocking with them back in 2019, I believe, going forward, I think it was. And this is their new rugged series. I've actually done a review on this right here for both devices, so be sure to check that out. Now the phone. So fun fact, I was actually filming this earlier, and I was talking about the security patch, and then the June security patch popped up. It is now getting the June security patch. And today is June 3rd. Now this probably came in sooner, but as of June 3rd, the recording of this video, it popped up in the middle of my other video, so I just stopped it. And so that's it. That is the update, and I'll install that after the fact. But this is the unlocked model of the OnePlus 9. Is there a carrier model of the OnePlus 9? I don't think it is. But the OnePlus 9 Pro, my carrier version of my OnePlus 9 Pro is a carrier version, and it's on the May security patch. It's been getting an update ever since I've had it, so that's pretty good. But the unlocked models of the OnePlus 9 and 9 Pro should have the June patch, and that is what this is. Now, overall performance on this thing has been fantastic. Now, I actually have been enjoying this device, and I just feel like if OnePlus could continue to do this right here going forward, they should be okay. Performance is always nice and speedy. I just leave the apps going because the main apps that I use, only apps I close. I posted a poll online about if you have an iPhone, do you close out the applications? And a lot of people said, no, I don't. But I close out applications on my phones, certain applications. I close out banking applications, and I force close them to make sure that I'm the last one that use it, and so I don't want anybody to try to get in there after me. You never know. There's always something going on. So I just force close only banking applications or things that deal with finances and like private applications. But other than that, I pretty much leave these social media things going. I don't really have anything on my social media accounts that's worth looking at. So but the phone itself, performance, it's super speedy. This is such a good size device, and it's pretty much the same size as the OnePlus 9 Pro, but something about the OnePlus 9 actually having that curved display on the OnePlus 9 Pro, I don't know, it just kind of wins me over for some reason. But this feels great in the hand. It has that curved back. It just kind of slants off. It is actually really, really nice. This just feels really good. And this skin, man, this skin just sets it off. Man, that facial recognition is fast from behind the camera. It just kind of sets it off, man. So performance on here, you should be perfectly fine with this. You shouldn't have any issues with the performance of this device. I think you'll be fine, especially day-to-day tasks. 8 gigs or 12 gigs is what it comes in, or 256 gig. And so I think more than enough power is here from the Snapdragon 888. It is just more than enough. And I guess when I talk about power, most people try to relate it to gaming, but you do have gaming boost. As you can see, it just turned on. I guess there's a lot of people in the world out there. I don't know. It depends. I guess it would depend on the age of the person, whether or not they do a lot of gaming. I don't know. I personally don't do too much gaming. But when I do game, I test it out for you guys with Asphalt, because I feel like Asphalt is a good game to test out whether a phone is going to be able to handle certain things. If you play this long enough, or you play it straight through, you definitely will, in fact, you will get drain on the battery. You will get the performance will start to show. So, you know, I feel like this device can handle pretty much anything is thrown at it at this point in the game. I don't see a reason why a person would ignore this device over others, because, yeah, I split hairs on that bad. This has just been a fantastic experience overall. And, you know, it's hard to tell a person if something is going to be good or not just based on the first impressions. That's why long-term reviews for me are always a must. Did you notice any frame drops? I didn't notice anything on there. I didn't notice any frame drops, nothing. So you're going to be very critical of it up front, and we all should be very critical of devices. But the heating issue, I would say exchange it if you are having a heating issue, and then continue on. Because what I've noticed is there's a trend will hit the internet, and then everyone will follow that trend, and then we don't hear anything else from them. And that's pretty much just what it is. I think getting out there first seems to be the thing for YouTube, and no real content comes. The real content doesn't come until after the fact, because you should see this trend by now. If you're a content creator or you're watching content creators, you should see the same people pretty much jumping out there first, and then you should see the next set of people that come through that may have gotten it or whatever, and then, you know, they found one or two things that possibly might have been bad or something, and they just roll with it. They find a reason to get rid of the device, or they just decide, you know, hey, I'm not keeping this because of whatever. So I try my hardest to always do follow-up videos. I don't do it all the time. I don't always give follow-up videos, especially on performance, because I think the performance is based on the person that's using the device. So I played that game a little bit longer in this video because I wanted to see, am I going to have some heating issues with it playing like that? It's cool to the touch still. And you might be thinking, well, Jay, that's not long enough. That was just a few minutes. That was maybe 4 to 5 minutes. I've played this game because this isn't my real account. This is like a tester account. I actually have an account where I'm well into the game, and I've purchased things, and, you know, I've gone on with the gameplay. But you want to run the device as hard as possible when you can. That way you can really test it out to see if you're going to have those problems. And then the main thing is to fire up the camera and try to use it in a manner of, is it going to burn out on me? Is it going to heat up on me? And so, speaking of the cameras, let's fire those up right now, and let's take some current photos of what's happening right now as of June 3rd. Like the real sunny days, because it really doesn't depict how beautiful the sky really is. And you look at this is just beautiful. I think OnePlus's cameras have been greatly improved. Let's hit that zoom. You can go ahead and go all the way in 10 times. That's pretty far away from me, but nonetheless, see my grass, you know, see the fence since it's been raining, and, you know, see the sky. Look at how beautiful that sky is. If you don't know that about me at this point, I love looking at the sky and how beautiful it is, and just taking pictures of the trees and just things like that. And look at how beautiful this is right here. This is just beautiful. You might even hear the thunder right now because it's thundering. That's just a fantastic photo right there that I will grab in this video. Anyway, these are real cameras. All right, so here is the front camera. Don't know how well this is going to be because let me see if I have my 60 on. Yeah, I've got my 60 on. This camera can do 60 frames per second on the front, and there's a little icon at the bottom there where you can record 60 frames per second on the front camera with your vlogs or whatever you want to do. And I think it's absolutely great, man. So we'll get back to some photos. not very many cameras can really depict the real color, give you the real true color of this purple iPhone. But this phone, to me, it looks like it's doing fairly well. I'm not using anything special. I'm not using portrait video, but you can see the background kind of blurs out and it focuses on the phone. These cameras have just been so impressive, man, but they really need, like all things, they need the right atmosphere. They need the right lighting. So if I take this phone out of the way, you'll see the grass come into focus. Now, they teamed up with Hasselblad to give some extra oomph to the OnePlus 9. And I just feel like these cameras are getting a little bit overlooked. Again, this is a true test because you really can't get the real true color of this phone in a lot of videos when I try to record it with some devices. So this is impressive that it's able to handle it and show the true colors. Very nice. So portrait video is something that this device does very well, I would say. And I'm happy that it does do portrait video. I think this is just a huge plus in having this in a phone. I love to have a blurred background, which is why I shoot with a 16mm lens when I'm actually doing my vlogs. So here's just another sample, June 3rd, portrait video on the OnePlus 9. All right, so yeah, cameras, they're still good. These cameras definitely rival a ton of other cameras out there, but that's still subjective. But I just feel like OnePlus has done right by their consumers by trying to do something that is going to improve the camera quality, because we live in a social media age, and which means everybody films everything. Everybody is taking photos. Everybody's doing everything and placing their entire life online, unfortunately. But with that, you can still have some good quality cameras at a really good price. Now, if between the two, I'm asked, hey Jay, you know, which one should I really get? I wouldn't tell you to grab the Pro over the 9. I mean, because you're saving hundreds of dollars. You're saving hundreds of dollars by using the 9, and you're getting pretty much the same performance and everything. So this is the 9 Pro, and here is the 9. And I just think the 9 is, the companies will always give you an out. They'll give you a reason to stay away from the so-called Pro model. But some people have to have it, and some people want to have it. The difference between these two phones is, you know, minor, but enough to make some people say, "Oh, I really have to have it." Like, just say the screen alone. You know, having 120 hertz display, but then having 120 hertz display and Quad HD might be something that somebody might want. Like, the fluidity of both of these is so great. I mean, just flowing through things. But do you really need a display that's 1440p that is going to give you Quad HD at 120 hertz? You know, the fact that I could change that, you know, hey, it's great. But is that something that I need? Absolutely not. So consumers have the option. They just need to choose wisely. You have to choose wisely when it comes to picking what you need. You have to. Because if you end up choosing something that you just want, you might end up making a bad choice that you have to live with, especially if you're financing a phone. So as you can see, my display, speaking of display, I have it set to 120 hertz at all times. At least I want it to be at 120 hertz at all time. And I don't feel like I've done bad on battery at all by leaving it there. The battery life on this phone is fantastic, and the fact that I have warp charging, this phone charges to 100% in 30 minutes. Literally, it's like, okay, 31 minutes sometimes, 33 minutes sometimes. One time it charged in 29 minutes, just under 30 minutes. But the point is, it's charging as they advertise. And some phones now are coming out with 120 watts or 200 watts charging, where the phone charges in 8 minutes to 100. That is borderline dangerous. I don't recommend that a consumer would always do 200 watt charging. As a matter of fact, sometimes I don't even do the warp charging. I'll put it on just a regular fast charger, just to be sure I'm not, you don't want to burn your battery out too much, because that is wear and tear on the device. It truly is. So you determine what you want to do with your device. But to me, even if this phone had really poor battery life, for me, good battery life is lasting more than 24 hours and having a decent screen on time between 5 and 7. That's good battery life for this phone right here. I've never really been able to get over 5 a lot, but the more I've used this device, the longer I've been able to get battery out of it. So it's kind of strange, but I'm really digging it, man. So everything about the phone I genuinely like. I also talked about the display. Let's go ahead and fire up the display here, and let's just go ahead and pull up a video here. I want to do one where you can hear the speakers on here. I always play things and I don't really play the sound on it, but I want to do it this time for you because I have a video intro on here. I think I have. Oh, you know what? It's on this one right here. You let me know if you want to see more videos on this car. I mean, the mic is facing me. I didn't bother turning it around, but reality is, folks, the screen is good, the mic is good, everything about this is just good. This is just a good, well-crafted, well-rounded, well put together, great hardware, great software. Customize it right out of the box. You know the drill. Everything is here. So someone asked me in another comment on another video, they said, hey, and I'll read it verbatim to you, hear what they said. They asked me what is my favorite Android device to carry daily or something like that. Yeah, Michael Stansel said, what's your favorite Android phone for everyday use? It could definitely be this device. I always carry a Pixel or some kind of stock Android device, and this is one of them. Obviously, I use this device every day. So if I just had to use a stock Android device, I definitely would go with a Pixel. That's not to say that these OnePluses are not worthy, but some of the Pixels, you can get the same performance and it doesn't even have the Snapdragon 888. You see what I mean? So there's always a chance that you can get a great performance out of a device that doesn't have this powerful specs like this. And Apple and Google are doing that with their devices, and Google's getting ready to bring a new chip. It's going to probably shut things down. So I'm not sure what's going to happen, but the new Pixel devices are going to blow. They're going to be great, man. So one of my favorites is this device right here, the OnePlus 9, the OnePlus 9 Pro. These are great stock Android options. While the Pro is a little on the pricey side, it is definitely an option. So you have to choose what you want to do for the device that you'll pick up. But in fact, these are two of my favorite stock Android devices. They really are. So the OnePlus 9, 60 days later, it's good, man. I mean, I don't have any complaints. I mean, did you see how it produced the footage of the purple iPhone? And I really mean that. There are a lot of phones out there that I've used that can't produce the true color of the device. And that's pretty strange, but it just comes down to the software processing and the sensor and things like that. So how is this device 60 days later? If you have the OnePlus 9, and I'll go ahead and throw in the OnePlus 9 Pro also, because I believe the OnePlus 9 Pro is the only carrier version. So you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I only know the Pro to be the carrier version. But if you have the OnePlus 9, tell me how you like it. Tell me what you think about it. Do you think it was worth your money spending it on that? You know what I'm saying? So if you still haven't picked up a OnePlus 9, there are some affiliate links down below where you can pick up one. It helps me out and it helps you out. You get a killer device. There's also different products and things you can buy down there. Most of my links down below are affiliate links. Some of them are, I should say. But definitely check out the OnePlus 9 if you haven't already done so. This is a killer device, man, and it's totally worth it, man. I mean, having it now, that's the last thing I want to talk about. The price. People often ask, is something worth something? And they ask too soon. That's why lately I've been doing follow-up videos on my cases. I very seldom would do a follow-up video on a case, but I find that a lot of phones are getting reviewed, if you will, and then or cases reviewed, and then no one's following up on the cases, really telling you if the case is really worth it or not, or that's where I'm at. So I just feel like, man, giving the worth of something definitely falls in later. I mean, I normally can find out if I think something's worth it after I have it for a while. I really can't tell you if something's worth it if I have it just for one day, and then I have a bunch of problems with it, or it just rubs me the wrong way. And then I tell you that it's not worth it. I try to avoid putting that out there. But I can tell you this particular device, man, I really like it, man. And again, I like my Pro as well. I just think that they're great. They're great. They're fantastic, man. This is a fantastic phone, and to me, it's worth the price now that I'm using it. Especially if I'm going to use it for videography, like shooting something. That's fantastic, man. That is fantastic. It is just no getting around it. You're going to have a dislike. You're going to have a favorite. And for me, I started off a lot. I didn't really like a few things. I thought the cameras weren't on par, but as they improve and they update the phone like they're doing now. Again, I got the latest security patch on here. Right here, it's let's download it. Connect to Wi-Fi. Yes, let's go and connect to Wi-Fi. But having the latest security patch on here, every month they're consistent. They've been consistent, and I think a lot of OEMs are learning. Now, granted, these security patches, consumers don't really know too much about this, but the techies do. The techies do, and we know that we're going to always judge an OEM sometimes. And I'll say we, even though I don't judge OEMs over security patches, but some people do. They feel like if it doesn't have the latest security patch, it's a fail. And I'm not like that. So a lengthy video for you, follow-up review on the OnePlus 9. I hope you guys enjoyed. 2 months later, man, and it might be a little past 2 months, but it's June 3rd or whatever. So I just wanted to go ahead and put this out there. This is a fantastic, fantastic device. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.